Yo, what is up, Ramblin Raiders listeners? Welcome back to the podcast. Before we get started tonight, I'd like to shout out this episode's sponsor. Today's episode is sponsored by Shane Bergeson with Stanfield Properties. If you are in the greater Houston area and need help finding the right home to fit your needs, our boy Shane Bergeson is the best realtor Houston has to offer. Shane has made a name for himself as the go-to guy for residential properties and has helped countless residents from Friendswood, Pearland, Shenandoah, Conroe, Galveston, and League City find the right homes to suit their living situations. Whether you are looking to upgrade, downsize, relocate, or your forever home, Shane Bergeson will find the perfect match for you. I know Shane personally, as we have grown up together and remained close over the years. I cannot think of anyone I would rather recommend than Shane when it comes to customer service and having a hard work ethic. I know when I decide to find my first home, which could be coming up here pretty soon, I will be using Shane as my realtor. Reach out to Shane on his direct line, 832-206-4495. Again, that's 832-206-4495. Or you can also email him at shane@stanfieldproperties.com. We at Ramblin Raiders are proud to partner with Shane Bergeson. Tell him that the Ramblin Raiders sent you and receive a 1% discount when buying or selling your next home. I know Nick can tell you in the market right now these days, that is a huge discount, guys. So do not miss the opportunity to take advantage of that. And also don't miss the opportunity to work with an amazing realtor and get the home of your dreams. And now with that, we are ready to get started here with tonight's content, tonight's episode. You are listening to some premium Texas Tech content with a laugh, the occasional laugh. We're very excited tonight. We're powered by Guns Up Nation. We're excited. I had to throw that in there real quick just to, appease our boys over at Guns Up Nation. But we're excited because we have a special guest on our podcast. And so make sure, guys, because we're going to be promoting this all over our social medias. If you don't already, make sure that you follow us on Instagram at Ramblin Raiders, Twitter at Ramblin Raiders, Facebook, Ramblin Raiders Podcast. Our YouTube channel is the Ramblin Raiders Media. That's, where you're going to be able to watch this episode tonight. And then also, if you haven't already, make sure you rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Pod, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts and wherever you're getting this content. With that, here we go. That's right, man. Our guest of honor. He already knows, man. He's got it pulled up right here, guys. We're honored and really thrilled and excited to have Malik on the podcast. Nick, and everyone knows this because I'm terrible at pronouncing names, so I'm gonna let Nick take over here, man. Just go ahead and introduce our boy.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We're excited to have Malik on the pod tonight. He recently won the Texas relay here in the 4x400 hurdles. He's the champ. We're excited to bring Malik Metivier onto the podcast. Malik, just give us a quick what's up to the people and to the listeners, and we'll get started.
So what's up, everybody? I got a lot of love for anybody that bleeds red and throws the guns up. So I'm just happy to be here.
Throws the guns up and throws the horns down too.
That's right, man. I love that. Texas Tech currently, and Malik, you can correct us if we're wrong on this, but the last update I saw, the outdoor ranking had Texas Tech currently at number 7 in the country right now. So top 10. Obviously our track and field program has been just burning these last couple of years, man. Won a championship in 2019, has continued that tradition of excellence, and we see the output throughout all these meets, man. So just before we really get into it, how's life, dude? What's going on in the 806 these days?
It's exciting times for us, and I think it's really scary times for a lot of people. The class we brought in was just ridiculous, men and women, ridiculous. Like, with all respect to everybody, I think if you really want to look at it objectively, like probably 5 best athletes that go to Tech on the men's side, they run track. I'm not number 1. I'm lucky to take number 5. You know what I mean? Like, they did such a good job, and what makes it fun is that them noisy neighbors in Austin, they did a good job too. They made it really competitive. So coming in, I just love that kind of competitive culture, and we've been step in step. Yeah, we've been battling the whole year, but it's a really exciting time. I think this is going to be a really special year, regardless of outcome. In the track world, we're going to talk about this year for a long time, the people we have. So, yeah.
I love that, man. And Nick alluded to it earlier. I mean, you definitely have that passion, that competitive nature, because I mean, the first thing that Nick and I, whenever we saw the track meet that went down in Austin, you won the 4x4 hurdles, or the 400 hurdles, and straight to the horns down, baby. I mean, that to me, that embodies just that competitive nature, that competitive spirit. And usually on my introductions, I say, like, you know, our guests, a kind of a middle name, like hype name for him. It was just going to be Malik, horns down, Metivier.
Yes, sir.
Boom. I told y'all I was going to get it somewhat close.
I'll give it to him.
But
sure. Hey, real quick though, Jackson, you didn't actually get to hear this because you were late to the Zoom link. But there's a little background, a little backstory to the horns down that people probably don't know because it didn't get really any media attention. But Malik, if you want to dive into what kind of happened after you hit the horns down, after you won with the Texas, you know, officials.
Almost got disqualified.
Almost got disqualified.
Wow.
Here's the story. So, across the line, I'm excited. It was just a lot of prayer went into it. It was just a lot. I was just really excited and to do it in Austin on that track after telling people I was gonna do it. It's a good feeling. So I'm throwing the horns down, and then after I throw the horns down, I'm hearing a lot of like cheering from the crowd. There's a lot of Tech fans there, so I'm blowing kisses to the crowd. I'm very thankful. They came all the way from Lubbock to go watch it. And so our media people are hyping me up. So they're hyping me up, getting me, you know, do all these different things. I went viral also for like meditating on the track. It's like a thing I do. I got really popular. So there's this one guy who I think was working for ESPN because the ESPN camera's following him. He keeps trying to get me to come over, like, come over here, sir, come over here, sir. I'm kind of brushing him off, like, yeah, I'll get to you. Don't worry, I'll get to my head. He kind of flips over his accreditation, whatever the word is, and it says head field marshal. And that's the guy that's the guy that can send the whole team home if he wanted to. I'm like, ooh. I got nervous. I was like, ah, man. So then he was just, I didn't get my interview, and he was just saying how I could have been disqualified for, you know, enticing a crowd or whatever. But it's just one of those things that Texas Tech, we always have a interesting time at Texas Relays. And I like that sports, that gamemanship though, of, you know, hosting a meet that big, that's impressive for the school to do. So I have nothing negative to say about them. You know, coming down a little harder on Texas Tech athletes. I love that stuff, but no matter what they tried to do, still beat their boys. So
yeah, we won't make you say, you know, what needs to be said right now. Nick and I will take that burden upon ourselves so that if anyone gets in trouble, it's Nick and I. But I mean, we say this kind of stuff all the time. What it sounds like to me that you just explained, Malik, is that basically somebody had his feelings hurt that his team didn't win the 400 meter hurdles, and that the crowd was getting hyped because Texas Tech fans did what they do. They travel, right? They fill up opposing teams' stadiums and arenas everywhere that we go. The Tech fans were hyped, and I'm not shocked actually by that story. Nick's right. This is the first time I'm hearing it, but I'm not surprised because that seems like a typical, and again, this is for me, this is my opinion, this is Jackson's opinion, but it seems like a typical UT response to get butthurt, if you will, that another team wins, their fans get excited, and so you're going to come over talking a little mess about getting disqualified. I'm sorry, but get out of here with that, dude. You ran a hell of a race.
I give it 50-50. It is. I don't know his name off by heart, but he's a respected official. He's a respected field marshal. He does a lot of things good. Mm-hmm. I think it might be a little bit of both. I know he's the purest of the sport. I understand those things, and I don't think nobody celebrates or runs as intense or passionately as me. So,
well, hey,
maybe the other way, but you guys are gonna say what you're gonna say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll take the heat on that one. We'll tell it how it is. But dude, you ran a hell of a race. I got super pumped watching that, and you deserve to celebrate, man. That was just the thought of running the 400, thinking back to my track days, is already scary enough. Then you throw the hurdles in there. In my opinion, that's one of the hardest feats to do as a track athlete. So no shame in that, man. You hold your guns up high, your head up high. That was a great performance. And you made Red Raider Nation proud with that.
It was good to kind of have that on my sleeve now. People have some hope.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into kind of our main content here, our sit down with Malik. Really, we're excited to talk about a lot of things to do with the track team. But first, I guess before we kind of, talk about this season, about where y'all are at, something Nick and I wanted to do was kind of talk about your path to running track at Texas Tech, right? Like, how did you get here? What's your backstory? And you know, what really kind of incentivized you to want to come to Tech to run track here? Also just running track as a young athlete. How about, I mean, if you wouldn't mind, man, just kind of diving in for our listeners, sort of, you know, speaking on where you're from, how long you've been running track, and really kind of maybe any other sports you enjoyed growing up, just sort of your background to lead you to this.
I'm from Toronto, Canada, like from the city.
The six.
But it's very difficult to any Canadian athlete you've seen come out of the city, they almost had to leave and almost pursue elite athletics outside of the country, usually in the United States. So I was a really good soccer player when I was young. I had there was things in the work of going overseas, playing some academies and whatnot. But that was just not something that, I mean, parents worked really hard to put me in a position, you know, to be able to go to school and whatnot. And that's a pretty risky situation. So they weren't too excited for that to happen. And I played a little basketball, a really good point guard, but I had some injuries, had some knee injuries. I'm in high school. So basically by halfway through the 11th grade, I'm like, I might not be able to keep being competitive in a sport. So I was running distance races to be better for soccer, just for fitness and soccer. And I didn't like it very much. So I just decided to start running the 4 hurdles. I ran like 3 months, ran a decent time. And then senior year, I broke my foot like really bad. Missed like 13 months. So I really didn't even start like actually running legitimate track till I came to college. I had one offer. I went to Drake University, and I don't know how this coach saw it, LaRon Bennett, but he's like a savant of the event. I still wouldn't, like, if I saw the races that I ran in high school and saw the times, I wouldn't have offered me any sort of scholarship. But he saw something, and I owe a lot to him, and him almost putting his neck out for me. So, and then from there, he had left, and I knew it was probably best for me to transfer out of Drake University. Loved it there, loved my time there, but it was just time for a little more of a competitive change. And I actually, so while I was an undergrad, the last 2 choices I had were between Auburn and Texas Tech. And I chose Auburn, graduated from there. Only had 1 year healthy. Out of the 3 years I was there, I had 1 year healthy. Like, that was last year. I became a first-team All-American. And then because of the stuff I knew I would have to do in the summertime, trying to qualify for the Olympics, and it was just a lot, you know, with visas, and it's just a lot of, you know, graduating as an international student is a lot more stress than people might realize. So I got in the portal and I talked to Coach Rob, and I said, if you can give me a scholarship, I'd love nothing more than to come here, because we had tracked them, and the best place to be, I think.
Yeah, the rest is history, man. Now you're here.
It's just like, I didn't understand how well of a fit I'd be here, how well I get along with the team. I never really had that before. But I think the main thing is you just got to be tough if you come here. You got to be tough. If you like the Red Raiders, you're a tough person. You got a little edge to you. So
yeah,
I love that you said that, because I think Tech fans, just, you know, athletes, you know, have their own standard of that, and then I think fans even kind of all resonate in that way. Is that, like, when you're going to Tech, that, you know, chip on your shoulder, that I mean, now we're I won't even say underdog mentality, because I feel like we're, you know, top 10. We're nationally ranked in a lot of sports, and we're doing really well. But you got to have that toughness, toughness, that West Texas grit. You kind of, you know, there's something to be said, a little edgy, you know, with the people that go to Texas Tech, and I think it's what makes us unique and special. Yeah,
it's like, it's not over the top with it. It's not like we have like we don't over the top, no bad boy mentality, no bad boy reputation. But if you come here, the people that don't enjoy the time here, I'd say you can tell this.
They'll get weeded out pretty quick.
And it's something, I feel like it's something you just have. It's not much you can really change in that if you really buy in. So that's why to almost get that sort of appreciation from the fans here, it means a lot, because there's people I respect. It's a fan base I would, you know, actively want to kind of show that I'm one of you. I'm one of y'all.
Good deal, Nick. Well, that, I guess, can segue us kind of into our next question here, man.
Yeah. So, you know, you mentioned your coach at Drake and how he had such a big influence in getting you recruited, and then moving to Auburn was, you know, a competitive leap for you. And then coming to Texas Tech, you know, on the note of coaches, Coach Wes Kitley is one of the best in the game, if not the best track coach in the game. So, you know, we don't hear a lot about Coach Kitley. He's been at Tech for forever, it seems like. And, he's really rooted in West Texas. Obviously, Zach Kitley coming to be the offensive coordinator at Tech for the football team. It's a family thing for him. And again, that plays into the Texas Tech kind of family mentality, West Texas tough mentality. What is it like playing and running for Coach Kitley?
You said, sorry, you cut out a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said, what is it like playing for and running for Coach Kitley?
It's like, it's like running for like a legend, but he's still there to kind of validate you and give you like guidance and wisdom. It's almost like, I don't even know how to describe, like 4 kings of boxing. He's like in track collegiate coach. He's one of them. Like, there's nothing he hasn't seen, nothing he hasn't experienced, worked through, and he's still willing to learn. And you know what I mean? That's the thing. So with that much experience, but he's still so like versatile. He's still so almost like youthful in the way that he's looking to just almost get better every day. He's just a winner.
A winner.
And like, awesome. On top of that, like, there's nothing, it's never like, that's what makes it tough. There's nothing I can do to impress him. There's nothing I can do. I'm never going to do anything he hasn't seen, coach, heard before. So it's just like, yeah, I'm here to win. I know my job. And he does everything he does so much for us to be in a position to win for him. So I guess he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. He knew what he was doing when he was recruiting you. I guess you entered the transfer portal and he recruited you to Tech. So, man, he knows what he's doing, going after All-Americans, bringing Tech and just continuing to build the track program at Tech. Number 7. I think the men's track is number 7 right now, right, Malik? And the women's is number 5 individually.
4 last week. They do it on a weekly basis. So,
yeah,
we don't really worry about those things too much. I think we were like 2nd at one point indoors. The rankings it looks nice and stuff, but it can be kind of skewed in certain ways because a lot of people are doing well in the country. So let's say you have a team that has guys that are 9, 10, 11, 12 in like the shot put. That's a lot of points for the national ranking, but that doesn't mean nothing at the national championship.
Yeah.
A lot of teams will have people that will double, so say they're fast enough in like the 200 and the 400, for example, so they'll give the team national ranking points that way. But they only run and won at nationals. So it's I think it's a caliber of teams, and we're clearly in that top caliber, looking to win a national championship. So.
That's right, man. Yeah, y'all are in the fight, dude, for winning a natty and competing at that elite level, which is great. I'm also sure I kind of put it in our outline for earlier, but I bet Coach Kitley's a little. I mean, he's always excited, to be a Red Raider, to be the Texas Tech track and field coach. But I bet he's a little more pumped, man, now that he's got his son Zach on campus as the offensive coordinator for our football team. Father-son duo, man. I mean, do you ever see them like hanging out and just on campus or anything like that, having some family bonding time? Or he's just all business? I would say he's keeping it between the lines.
I think it's cool. It was really cool when his son when he first got there, when Zach first got there, and they at the indoor track, the indoor football facility, it connects through a retraction wall. So
yeah,
it's you kind of see him picking his head in there and
checking on him.
Yeah, I don't work directly with Coach Kitley. I work with Coach Rob, Coach G,
okay.
Coach Robinson, and we call him Coach G.
Actually, yeah, man. If you could talk on that, like, because as for our listeners, for anyone who's not as familiar with how our track program runs, and from a coaching standpoint, a leadership standpoint, like how many coaches do we have on staff? Like who works mainly with is it a pretty extensive lineup?
There's a lot of coaches, and then there's like levels to it. So Coach Kitley, that's the Don. All right, that's your Don.
Yeah.
Al Capone, and then
yeah.
Capo's your main coaches would be Coach Robinson and Coach G for the men's sprint. So Coach Rob does mainly the shorter sprints. Mm-hmm. Coach G does the longest sprints, and then Coach Rob kind of takes the reins with the 4 hurdles in the outdoor season. So we have Coach H. Coach Hurston, who came from Florida State in the horizontal jumps and vertical jumps, and he's just phenomenal. Like, if track was a popular sport, this would have been getting like one of the savings guys, one of the savings coordinators for the team. Like it's a big deal to have him here. Our jump squad was already strong. That was especially our female triple jump group. That's something that I think that'll be talked about
Oh, no doubt.
The runs out how good they are. And then we have a variety of distance coaches. Coach Kitley works on a really specific 800-meter group, and then we have a throws coach who's done a really good job. Who's pretty versatile as well. So everyone works together. Everyone has like a good little mesh. But I think I love having Coach G and Coach Rob, two really good coaches at every practice that we have.
Awesome, man. Well, I mean, Ruth Usoro, man. I mean, she was just sorry. I was going back. You were just talking about our the women's triple jump, and Nick, I know that you were going to touch on that, but I mean, she's broken all kinds of records, and when you look at like Hall of Fame, Ring of Honor, Texas Tech athletes, she's one of the first names that comes to mind just for her excellence. On the track and field team and in the field, because I guess she does all jumping activities, but jumping sports. But man, that's impressive. Yeah,
she definitely seems like she's cream of the crop. I think she was supposed to be in the Olympics, but there was some issue with the testing prior to the Olympics, and so she didn't make it for the last Summer Olympics to represent her home country. So yeah, I mean, having her in the program, and it's just, I bet Malik could name off like 10 people in the program that are definitely deserving of some highlights.
Because if I miss somebody, like I think Mawad Zafi, the guy right now, I don't think, all respect to Crabtree and Mahomes.
He's the best athlete.
He's by far the best athlete, and it's not because he's a freak of nature. But that guy lives so devout. He just lives so devout. Like I pride myself on being serious, and I love my sport, so it doesn't seem like any amount of work I do doesn't feel like work, but somehow he just be whooping my tail in terms of like all the stuff he does off the track to make sure he's right. But the whole men's sprint group jump, like it's just come on, you got to do your own research with that one. This is so many people.
Well, hell,
you know what I mean? Like you split the team up and sent like Jacoby Shelton and Courtney Lindsay to like the team in the SEC, and then that they would just be like the number one guys at that school. And Duma Watts, like there's just so many like studs that are all on this team, and it makes it so much easier to be great because that's all you're surrounded by. It's all positive because everybody's gonna get theirs, but we need each other to be our own to win. So.
Oh yeah. Well, whenever I saw the last Olympics that came around and the lists that came out of Texas Tech athletes that were competing in the Olympics for other countries, all over, it was so thorough. I was like, man, I mean, we got Olympic caliber athletes in, from a diverse setting across the entire board for events with track and field. It was honestly, Nick, I mean, I don't know if you remember that was, I think, kind of, early on in Ramblin Raiders, but kind of somewhere in the middle. I mean, we were mind blown, dude. Just like, wow. Because like we know how great our track and field team is, but to see that many athletes competing again for other countries across the board on the highest level that there is, it was just awe inspiring, man. I mean, I was so like just blown away at how far and how successful our track team is, man. How far we've come and how successful our track team continues to be, boys and girls.
This is a lot of sacrifice.
Men and women.
At the end of the day, it's a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah,
for sure. So when we're recording this podcast episode, we're smack dab in the middle of your track season, and we're pumped to have you on. We're pumped that and thankful that you took some time to be with us leading up to some of the last few track meets you have here. If you could, just kind of give the listeners an update on how the season's going, as a team and for you, and then like what kind of meets are left and what do you have left on the schedule?
So right now it's heating up. It's like just getting to my favorite time of the year. It's so much fun. We got a home meet this week, and that's kind of like the last tune-up we'll have. We'll be here at home, trying to get like the last meet we'll have will be obviously at home. We have conference in 2 weeks, which will be here at Texas Tech.
Let's go.
I'd love to have a lot of people there, especially on the finals day, because you're gonna see things that even if you don't watch track, it's in terms of sports history. And that's a lot to say, but like this the amount of people we have that are at, like, I'm talking about they're doing things that people in the world have never done before. I'm not talking about me. I'm like I'm this exciting guy. There's so many people that like you're bound to see something just so special. Like, but it's an exciting time of the year. Things are really heating up, and you just have to be on the ball like at all times. Like so, from everything from just like sleep, hydration. Like I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get. I want to slip on nothing. Like it's just we're training at such a high level for this level of like to compete at such a elite level as well. It's just a lot, but it's fun at the same time. Things are heating up.
For sure. So you got the last meet at home, which is this weekend. Actually, we'll get this episode out before it's the Corky Crowfoot Shootout. It's the senior meet. Gonna highlight the seniors there, and then like you said, you got conference meet and then nationals after that. Is that right?
Yeah. Oh no, conference. And then we have regionals. So it's like NCAA. Okay. So they cut the country in half. We're in the West region, so it's just 2 rounds there. It's a little bad. So technically, at international competition, there's 4 rounds of competition. So there's like the preliminaries, quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. The only people that run preliminaries are in like your short sprint races, and they're from countries where like there's not very much infrastructure. So like you get your really small islands and whatnot, and they race their way. They can race their way into the semifinals. So like there's mainly just like 3 rounds. So regionals fills the place of the first 2 rounds, so the preliminaries and the quarterfinals. So you really can't win regionals. That makes sense. It's just a qualification for it's the first round of the national championships, and the national championships are just a semifinal, then a final.
I got you.
So
yeah,
it's still serious, but it's serious, very serious time, and it's exciting.
Hey, for that, absolutely, and for that meet in Lubbock, for anyone who hasn't been to a track and field just meet, I'm telling you right now, it's an electric factory, man. In fact, I would argue it's one of the most fun sporting events to attend because it's just constant action. 1 minute you're watching, you got high jump, then you got shot put, then here we go. Here's 100-meter sprints, hurdles, then it's the 4x4.
Especially the finals day at conference, it's going to be so easy to follow. It's going to be so easy to follow because it's just one event. There's no heats, nothing like that. It's just going to go straight one event.
Yeah.
You're going to track the points on the board, and it's going to be close.
For real, yeah.
So
no, y'all got to get out and support, man. I mean, everyone listening in the Lubbock area, go out, support, like get rowdy and excited because I'm telling you,
you're really gonna want they make it really easy to follow.
Yeah,
it'll be a good time.
And like I said, it's constant. Like you have one event after the other, like another race, a different race, another event, another like I said, high jump activity, whatever. It's just constant, sporting event going on throughout the duration of this meet. And so that's not something you want to miss. I mean, I would highly recommend and encourage everybody to get out and do what Red Raider Nation does best, get rowdy and support our track team. Cause they're running, as Malik just alluded to earlier. I mean, this team's elite. This team can win a national championship this year. They sure as hell can win a Big 12 championship. And so they're going to need all the support, all of our fans to get out there and get rowdy. So, do it, man. I mean, if Nick and I didn't live so damn far away, we'd be up there too. But I just, man, that 9.5 hour drive is a tough one for me, man. Maybe my wife will let me just get away for the weekend. We'll see.
We'll see.
That's right. But Nick, I wanted to jump in here and kind of mix it up a little bit. We're gonna, I know obviously this has all been some great insight, great information, and that's why we were why we're pumped to have Malik on to get this inside look at our track team about what's going on. But I want to dig even deeper and kind of get the more maybe humorous side that we don't really get to see when it comes to Texas Tech athletics, whether it's our track and field, whether it's women and men's basketball, whether it's football, whatever, softball, baseball. But in your opinion, Malik, since you've been at Texas Tech, out of all the groups, all the subsections, you got your sprinters, you got your throwers, your jumpers, right? You got all your different kind of groups of within the track and field team, right? Who is the kind of the goofiest or funniest individual group on the squad, man? Who's like lighting everybody up, just having a good time, kind of keeping it loose?
Jacoby Shelton. You ain't got to finish up. Jacoby Shelton.
That's it.
Goofy. He's loud. I don't think he's that funny, to be honest, but people think he's funny. The thing about Jacoby is like when Jacoby's not there, the team is I don't think the team would be as competitive
I got you.
as they were without him. He's like a glue. Because at the end of the day, like he's like we'll go back and forth. We'll say the meanest things to each other, but there's so much love. Like he loves everybody on the team like family. Like he really is a captain. And what he did at indoor conference, even though we couldn't pull out the win, what he did winning the 60 and the 200, the way he did to set the tone, like he's just like there's not many people like that you'd have on the team. Like if track was a popular sport, this dude would be. Yeah. They'll probably change the name of Logies to Kobe's because like he's. Hold on, I think he's in my house. Hold on, I'll bring him right.
Yeah, come on. Let's go.
Let's go.
I love it. Impromptu, baby. Bring him in. Logies to Jacoby's or yeah, that is awesome.
We'll see. This is the kind of stuff that we live for as podcasters.
This is it, man. I mean, this is what Ramblin Raiders can bring to you is just that off the cuff.
But and on top of that, he's probably one of our best friends on top of everything.
Dude, hell yeah. Hey, bring him in, man. Tell him to
talk it up. What's up,
dude? What's poppin'? How y'all doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm chilling. Good, living life.
Dude, hey, so we asked Malik. We're doing a pod and we're highlighting Malik, but we wanted to get to know some of the other track guys, and we asked him who the goofiest guy on the team was. And
you said other things. Come on, you said other things. You didn't.
No. And we said funniest. We said goofiest and funniest guy on the team.
I mean, everybody pretty funny though. I don't know. I'm probably the goofiest for sure. The goofiest.
Hey, but he.
You know what I mean? He knows. No. Yeah, well, you gonna laugh all practice. I promise you. All 2 hours, you gonna laugh.
I love it, dude. And
sure.
Malik just had a great line. He said they should potentially change Logies to your name, bro, to Jacoby's, man.
I'm saying, you really the glue of the team. Oh yeah, you putting us. That's a good idea. Though. I might actually walk in there and have to introduce.
I was gonna say that's something that I think is worth pursuing, man.
I mean, I don't want me to be the manager. I want me to be the manager.
Oh
everybody,
man.
Everybody ain't no lie. Hey, come on.
Just let them in, man. Yeah, no, we it's like we ain't playing around with the lines, dude. Honestly, hey, as a I graduated. I'm like an old timer now. I was 2016, but like, dude, you would have been a hit, man, because people got tired of waiting in those lines all the damn time. It was like, dude, come on, I know y'all got room. Like, we're all here for the same reason. Just let us in.
They be acting like they ain't got no space on that, boy. Ain't not everybody in there right now. We can say it right now. We don't get treated. We don't get
hey.
athletes special. We don't get none of that. We gotta wait in line.
Hey, well, I'm telling you, right? Hey, NIL, man, like Ramblin Raiders, this is what it's all about, dude. Like, we gotta start letting the owners of those places know. Our track team, hey, we're top 10, baby.
Only in the offseason.
Oh, of course. No, I mean that's if all of our listeners listening in on this right now, that's should be implied, right? I mean, we're talking off season, and with all of our athletes that we talk to, that's like our first things first. During season, I know you guys are locked in, you're dialed in. I mean, it's all what you're there to work for, right? And that's that championship in whatever your respected sport is and your events. And for y'all, track and field, so y'all are in season, y'all are worried about that, but we're talking about in the summer, like we're talking about off season stuff.
For sure, yeah, for sure. That's
okay, good. I think whenever Coach Kitley listens back on this, like he'll see that part and it'll be cool, man.
We're kidding.
He should have proved. Coach Kelly really cool, bro. I ain't gonna lie. He's really cool. He trusts us. He knows it.
Yeah.
What sacrifice we have done for us.
No, you guys sacrifice a lot, and I know Coach Kelly's proud of that, man. But dude, this is awesome. I'm glad. Hell, if y'all both want to pull up a chair, man, we still got a couple lightning round questions to go here.
Hey, is Jacoby's from Pearland? Did he walk away?
Jacoby and I are from Port Arthur.
Port Arthur, dude. Okay.
Port Arthur, Texas. Born and raised.
Let's go, man. That's my day job. I work a lot on the podcast, but my day job, the territory I cover is Beaumont, Port Arthur, and then it goes all the way down like to Galveston County to Port Lavaca. So I have the whole Texas coast. So I've been spending a lot of time in Beaumont and Port Arthur lately, man. And I'll tell you what, the food scene over there is something to write home about, man. The food scene's not bad. that food scene's for real.
Why does it say you're from Pearland Dawson on the website?
I moved to
Houston for high school, and I was going to HISD school at first, and then I went there my freshman year, like the end of my freshman year all the way to my senior year. So, but I didn't know you could put whatever. I thought it was like, you know, you put the high school you was at and all that. So I just put the high school where my high school was located. I ain't really just hometown, all this. I ain't really looking at all that. I just put that down. Yeah. Originally, I'm from Port Arthur, Texas, though.
Yes, sir. PAT. PAT.
Love it.
Yeah. Real city.
Let's go.
Yes,
Well, let's see. So we I mean, to not so we don't run too long on time here, but we talked about the meets that are left. And Jacoby, if you want to kind of add in on that, I know. So y'all have some big a big home meet coming up, and that's for conference, right? Malik, you were saying? Yeah, that's one. I mean, man, we've been sitting here plugging away, just saying if you're in 806 area code and Lubbock County line, like you got to get to that meet and show some love, show some support, because you guys are. I mean, y'all are competing for not only a Big 12 championship, but I mean, this team's elite caliber, man. Y'all can win a natty this year, and if there's one thing we know that Red Raider Nation can do, it's turn out. And I mean, we love all of our sports programs across the board, man. So Tech fans, y'all got to get out and get rowdy, man, for that home track meet coming up.
For sure.
And what's the date? Do y'all know the dates on that one?
May 13th to May 15th.
Okay. Good deal, man. Well, there y'all have it. Another question before we get to the lightning round. I think y'all will like the lightning round because it's a little bit off the cuff, a little bit more kind of laid back and fun. But what has been, in y'all's opinion, I mean, y'all's favorite moment to this point in your Texas Tech career? It can be this season. It can be prior to that. Kind of what's been the highlight to you guys, man? What's the moment that you look back on and think so far, because I know y'all still got a season ahead of you, but what's been that kind of significant moment?
We start with Malik. Yeah, we'll start with Malik.
I've been new here, so probably Texas Relays, but not just like the performance of it. Like when I won, I got back to the hotel. The whole team was with me.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. I never had nothing like that before. That was a good time. That, and honestly, probably when I fell last weekend in Florida, about to run a ridiculous time. I was hot. I was angry as can be, and I'm walking back to the team camp, and I run into the whole crew, and it's like I wasn't. In that moment, like, everything kind of went away. It was just cool to have my brothers with me. So, yeah, my stuff's pretty simple. Is there anything to do with the rest of the team? Like, it's been pretty significant to me.
I think my most significant moment probably would be winning the first natties. That got to be my most significant. Because I was just so young, and I didn't know really like what. Yeah, I was a jit. I was young. I just didn't know really what like the atmosphere was gonna be like. Like I didn't understand really what like nationals outdoors look like and all that. And then just to be there and run a 4x1, it was like it felt like everybody in the world. It made it seem like I was running the Olympics. Like,
dude, that was huge.
It was crazy, like crazy. And then watching everybody compete. And, like Divine ran, Andrew Hudson, like a bunch of other people, for Tech. It was just like, wow. Like, and then the feeling of winning the whole thing. Mm-hmm. I knew we won, and I knew what we won, but it still didn't resonate in me like what happened, until afterwards. I was like, oh,
here we go.
I get it. So then years to come, it's like, oh, I got to do that again. I got to.
Dude,
I mean, on TV when it happened. So
yeah. It's like Texas Tech women's basketball in the 90s and then track and field, man, in 2019. Like, that's Texas Tech's 2 national championships besides, and I don't want to discredit or diminish our meat judging and wool judging team. They kick ass. They do an amazing job. But besides that and, like, cheer and palm, like, I mean, those are our 2 NCAA national championships that we have. So the historical significance of that moment, dude, that was incredible. I mean, I'll never forget. Nick and I, we had started the podcast that year actually, and we were like, damn, this is a great time to be doing this podcast because we got some serious talent, man, when it comes to Texas Tech, the athletic department across the board. That was awesome.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, guys, just to shed some light on that year in 2019, I got it pulled up here. That 4x100 team turned in 6 top 10 all-time finishes in the Tech, history. And then the 4x1 squad broke the school record 3 times in 2019. 3 times. That's legit.
That was a good year, man. And it's going to look, it's all great to talk about now, but then 2022 is going to be, that's the next year, right? That's the year that we're going to come back and talk about it and be like, 2019 was cool, but now look at us, man. Yeah. 2022. Because you guys have been, I'm telling you, man, y'all are right there, like we were talking about in the hunt. I know y'all don't really pay attention to all the rankings and stuff because, you're there just dialed in when it comes to each meet into different, I know, it's a different kind of mindset environment each time that you lace them up. But this year easily, man, Big 12 championship, national championship, it's definitely in contention. It's definitely a possibility. So
because we have so much time, we're taking it probably more serious than almost if we were like underdog. We don't want to waste the opportunity. We understand anything can happen at that meet. That meet is, you can bet on it, you're gonna lose your money. Like there's so much stuff that happens, so much that goes on. People just have days. Someone's always gonna go wrong, and someone's always gonna go well. So we're taking it very serious. It's not. I just need y'all to understand how excited we are to compete, but we don't expect nothing from that meet. We know we gotta earn it. So
gotta earn it. Hell yeah, man. Well, that's exciting. For time's sake here, man, Nick, I think we're ready for the lightning round. And I know that Malik got to see these questions earlier whenever we sent him kind of our quick outline, but this is some off the cuff. Just keeping it light, keeping it loose, having fun with it here. And we do this with every interview that we have on the Ramblin Raiders podcast. So I'll start us off, Nick, and then if you want to rotate on this, but this is just really to give people an insight and even future recruits kind of a look at Lubbock, what's, where everyone's hanging out, having fun, all that stuff. So first question here, favorite spot to y'all to chill on campus? Where do y'all like to hang out the most on campus? And it can be, I know y'all obviously with track.
Nothing else, man.
Yeah.
But the thing is, practice could end at like 2, and we'll be at the track by like the fueling station, sitting on like the tables. We'll be there till like 7.
Yeah,
that's the spot.
No, I love it. Dedicated to your craft, and that's the answer we get a lot. Whenever we interviewed like Lawrence Odiasi, he was like, "Dude, I spent most of my time at the USA, man. I was in the gym, like, hooping." And so, okay, how about favorite place to chill off campus when you guys are going to eat and hang out?
His house right here. Yeah. He doesn't live here. He don't live here.
Wait, okay. So for our listeners' sake,
he's always here.
Always.
We go from the track. He might go home, like shower, and then bring food here. Everyone comes out.
Everybody always in the league spot. Everybody always in the league spot.
I love it, man. Well, so for our viewers and our listeners, like you gotta tell them like where y'all at right now? Just at the house, at the crib?
At the crib. Yeah. Close to campus.
Close to campus. Okay. That's all they need to know, man, right there. So that's the hangout spot.
Cool. I'll get the next one. Let's see here. When you're not at Leek's house, what's the favorite place to eat at? Where y'all like to eat at off campus?
Or on campus?
Well, the fueling station, of course. But
if we on campus, most of the time we'll hit each other up in a group chat and be like, "Hey, y'all going to the Cash? The Cash Family Pavilion." That's on campus. If we not on campus, I say the place that got the most views from us, probably Torchy's.
Oh, let's. Nick, y'all don't know how long we have been waiting for that answer, dude. Because Nick and I, we used to work at Torchy's back in the day, bro.
Torchy's like our teammate who lived with us, Chris. He's All-American too. He was trying to get everybody to Torchy's.
Dude, I like Torchy's. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, bro, I can't. I don't really like Mexican food. And when I hear it, I'm like, bro, it's Mexican food. I don't like Mexican food like that. But then I walked in there, and they was like, bro, you got to get the trailer park, make it trash.
Y'all.
I said, trashy? What you talking about? We went today. I went got trailer park, trashy, queso. Yeah.
We can end this right now. That's all I needed to hear.
What?
I swear. We went today. Might go tomorrow. I ain't gonna lie.
No, I love that, dude. People used to make fun of me more so than Nick, because whenever we worked there, like one summer job, trying to get a little scratch together, man, for while we were up there getting some credits, people would come in there and we got, Nick, if you remember, we had employees got free tacos for a while, and then we got half off tacos after 2 months. And I would eat, whenever I'd have a shift, I'd eat there, and everyone's like, dude, that's got to get old, man. You got to be tired of that. I was like, no, I go to sleep thinking I can't wait for that next, that. It never gets old, man. I love those tacos. My wife is always ragging on me, cause every weekend she goes, where do you want to eat? And she goes, I she doesn't even have to ask. She knows first place I want to go, Torchy's Tacos, man. So you guys, and nobody said that before. We have not had one person on the podcast that has said Torchy's. So call it a night. Best interview we've had on Ramblin Raiders. We're done, dude. That's it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Okay, but yeah, no, besides now everyone knows our obsession, or at least my obsession with Torchy's on here. Moving on from that, what is your go-to music playlist, man? Your set list.
He takes my playlist.
He lying.
He's straight up just whatever Malik's listening to, I'm on it.
You can find my Apple Music. This Tap In playlist right here. That's what I've been listening to right now.
Okay, look. I know I'm the goofiest on the team, but tell the truth. I'm gonna tell the truth for sure. He
named his playlist after mine, bro.
I put everybody on the team on the month. I'm gonna say this right now for everybody listening. If you want to know, man, I can put you on any song from any genre. I kid you not.
Oh, hey, no, Kobe's
I kid you not. I listen to everything, and I'll be like, "Hey, you ain't heard this? Boy, he crazy. You heard the lyrics? Any genre of music." I put the
Renaissance
whole
man.
He takes putting on a little too far. He takes that a little too far. He'll take an A-list rapper and be like, "You never heard of No Cap?" All right, come on. I was just
and then look,
he's going to Alabama. He trying to. All right.
They'll be probably heard of the rapper, but they don't be listening to what he's saying for it. I'll be like, y'all not listening to what he's saying. Y'all got to listen to the lyrics, bro.
Yeah.
Now open your mind. Open your mind. Rap out of nowhere.
I love it, man. Dude, a Renaissance man.
Listen to Kobe.
Yeah. I don't know.
Car, Ox, yeah, Kobe got that.
But I got a lot of, it just depends on how I'm feeling, really.
So if y'all are
a chill playlist, the melody, it'd be more melodic, up tempo, but then nobody screaming on the beat or nothing. And then I might have a playlist where I'm feeling I'm finna go crazy today. I need some hype. I'm finna it just depends really.
I'm on Skilly Bang, dancehall music, from the Caribbean. You shutting it down right now. Skilly Bang's up next. It's the next Vibes Cartel. I know y'all don't know who that is, but for the people back home,
now we know, man. If we didn't know, now people are about to plug in and hear it. And so if y'all, so basically what I'm hearing is if y'all are at a get together, I won't call it a house party, but you're hanging out, whatever. Sounds like Jacoby's got the ox, though. You're first man up for the ox.
Nobody will say it. Nobody will ever. Not
this is the kind of insight that our listeners are gonna love, man. That's what they're looking for right there. That's awesome. This next, hey Nick, you got the next question on here. This is I'm really interested to hear this one.
Why you got to make me ask this question? This is funny. I don't think we've ever asked this before.
Yeah,
but,
this is a new one that I had to mix in there.
If y'all have one, what's your celebrity crush?
Rihanna. Rihanna. Oh, rip. Oh, rip.
I love it. Malik, what you got, man?
I don't know, man. I like somebody in real life. I don't really. I've never seen somebody and not. Maybe when I was a kid, scared probably Rihanna.
Yeah. No, because we're gonna start asking these from now on, and dude, it's gonna be hard to top Rihanna, honestly.
And everybody like to be bro, Beyonce. You don't think Beyonce a beautiful woman for sure, but I used to, before it was Rihanna for me, it used to be Sierra, Russell Wilson's wife.
She's beautiful. Yeah.
And Rihanna got a little older, and I was like, nah, I don't think nobody topping this though.
Rihanna, that's great answer. Love it. We're gonna incorporate this. Huh?
You think she like more me or Kobe? I'm from the Caribbean. People don't know that.
Listen.
See,
females love when they hear a Southern accent. Like, as soon as I get to speaking, she be, where you from? I'm like, I can't tell you all that. Like, come on.
I mean, we're going to let her decide, man. That's too tough a call.
On the podcast next.
She got my name tatted on her, by the way.
I was on the phone with her. She's like,
there you go.
Malik, where are you not from? You said you're from Canada. You're from the Caribbean.
I wasn't really a family born in Toronto, but like my family's from Trinidad.
He's from everywhere.
Family's from Trinidad.
Trinidad, okay.
Love it.
Like I said, the culture back home, like basically everyone that's pretty much black has some relation to the Caribbean. So a lot of the stuff we do is pretty, it's just unique. That's all. So
yeah,
she would like me a lot more.
That's funny.
All right, Nick, man, we got one more on here, and then we'll send it out.
Yes, sir. Okay, so obviously transfer portal on fire right now. Recruits coming in. You know, Kitley and the other coaches are doing their thing. But if y'all could say one thing to tell recruits, you know, about Texas Tech, what would be the one thing you tell recruits thinking about coming to Texas Tech to put them on?
I tell them the same thing I tell everybody when they come on a visit here, or when they ask me about like my experience in Tech. Before I committed to Tech, I didn't even know about Texas Tech really. Like I always tell them, before I committed, I didn't really know about Texas Tech. But taking my visit and then just like the atmosphere, seeing the campus, stadium, football stadium, track stadium, everything, like, and just how quiet it is. It's not too much to be doing. Like, you ain't got to worry about going through this and that and a little bit of trouble here and there. And then, like, it's like the perfect spot for somebody to come here and execute and enhance your ability in your sport, pursue your dreams, get further in that, while also getting a degree and being able to go home and do all. Yeah, you can still party and do all that, but it's nothing too crowded, nothing too crazy. It's like a perfect spot for you to do what you want to do in life and help you get further on wherever you want to be and wherever that is. Perfect.
That's a good answer.
Perfect. In anything you do, if you want to win, I'm gonna be a student, I'm gonna be an athlete.
And most of the time, you're going to chill with whoever on your team after practice, too. Like, literally, we all go to class, go from class to practice, then practice for 3 hours, then go to the weight room, and still sit in the SPC for an extra hour, 32 hours, chilling with each other. Then go home, hit some homework, or if we don't even hit the homework yet, we'll go to somebody, like I said, probably be Leak crib, and we all chilling, watching TV, playing the game, talking. It could be anything.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
like, anything. And that be the day. I'm talking about from before school starts to when school starts. Now all season start. Now the season going on. Same routine. It's been the same routine this whole year in that order.
Love it, man. You know,
that's a great answer.
And y'all are close. I mean, like you said, that speaks to the camaraderie of y'all's team, man, and that togetherness, that closeness. I think there's a lot to be said about that with Texas Tech athletes because from what we hear, from what we see, it seems to be that family environment, right, that is just promoted and cultivated with Texas Tech athletics.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a great answer, dude, from both of you guys. If I was a recruit and I heard that, you know, that's coming from the athletes themselves. It's a great answer.
Yes, sir, man. Well, dude, I mean, so as we get ready to kind of close out here, y'all have any sort of final remarks, final words to our listeners, to Red Raider Nation, to the Texas Tech faithful about this track season, about what's coming up? Any kind of last remarks here?
Just tap in, man. We always gonna put on the show. Tap in. Always put on the show. Yeah. Always.
We do it for y'all.
Whole team.
It's a lot easier, you know.
National championship coming again. Big 12 championship coming again.
Let's go.
Gotta beat up. You gotta witness it. Don't want to miss it.
If you had a chance in 2019, you missed out. Don't want to do it again.
Yeah, if you missed out in 2019, we got you get back right here in 2022. And I just told you what we're about to do.
That's right.
Let's go, baby.
Man. So
tap in.
Yeah, for all of our Ramblin' Raiders listeners, y'all heard it here first, man. Our track team's excelling at a high level. They've been grinding and getting after it all year long. We are proud to have Malik and Jacoby on the podcast to talk about, what's going on and keep y'all up to speed on all things with our track and field program. Remember, make sure that you're following us on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, also, Apple Pod, Spotify. Leave us that rating, that review, and that subscription if you haven't already. Our YouTube channel, Ramblin Raiders Media. That's where you'll be able to watch this podcast episode after we do a couple tweaks, maybe here and there. But no, this has been a great interview. This has been a lot of fun. We're so happy that Malik, we started with just Malik, then we had Jacoby hop in, and I feel like we got some great insight to the day in the life with our track and field athletes and what they're doing, the kind of focus, the mental fortitude that they have, and the sacrifice that they make when it comes to the track season. So hey, you guys keep getting after it. Like I said, man, we're just happy to be fans of call me biased, but the greatest university out there, the greatest family that you can have when it comes to collegiate athletics. And we're going to be rooting you guys on the rest of the way, man, for the Texas Tech track and field team.
Hey, Malik, plug your Instagram real quick, and then Jacoby after. How can they follow you?
It's just my name. I think _ MALIK METIVIER.
Y'all can find me at the official JS3. Simple as that. The official JS3.
There it is. I'm about to hit you with a follow right now.
Hell yeah. Y'all go follow and stay up to speed on everything going on, man. And with that, we out.